Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on what is supply chain management. Supply chain management is the handling of the entire production flow of a good or service, starting from the raw components all the way to delivering the final product to the consumer. There are various components involved in supply chain like planning, sourcing, manufacturing, delivering and logistics, and returning. Effective supply chain management system minimizes cost, waste, and time in the production cycle. In this session, you will learn all about supply chain management. So, without further ado, let's start the session. But before we begin the session, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you'll never miss any update from us.
So let's take a look at the agenda for this session. First of all, we are going to start with a basic introduction to what exactly is supply chain management, and then we'll take a look at the 5 basic components of supply chain management. Moving further, we'll talk about the benefits of supply chain management and the 5 C's of effective supply chain management. And to sum up this session, we're going to talk about a simple case study. I hope the agenda is clear to you guys. So without any further ado, let's begin. So before moving on to supply chain management, let's take a look at what exactly is supply chain. The supply chain includes all the activities, people, organizations, information, and resources required to move a product from inception to the customer. This will include the procurement, the manufacturing, the warehousing, and the transportation. Now that we know what exactly is supply chain, let's talk about supply chain management. Supply chain management is the management of the flow of goods and services and includes all the processes that transform raw materials into final products. It involves the active streamlining of a business's supply side activities to maximize customer value and gain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. A company creates a network of suppliers, also called links, in the supply chain that move the product along from the suppliers of raw materials to those organizations that deal directly with consumers. Supply chain management encompasses the integrated planning and execution of processes required to optimize the flow of materials, information, and the capital in functions that broadly include demand planning, sourcing, production, inventory management, and logistics. Now that we have a vague idea about what exactly is supply chain management, let's take a look at the 5 basic components of supply chain management. There are 5 components of traditional supply chain management systems. First one is the plan or strategy, which requires planning and managing all resources required to meet customer demand for a company's product or service. When the supply chain is established, you determine the metrics to measure whether the supply chain is efficient, effective, delivers value to the customers, and meets company goals. Then we have sourcing. In the sourcing component, we choose the suppliers to provide the goods and services needed to create the product. Then establish processes to monitor and manage supplier relationships. The key processes include ordering, receiving, managing inventory, and authorizing supplier payments. Then we have the manufacturing component, in which we organize the activities required to accept raw materials, manufacture the product, test for quality, a package for shipping, and schedule for delivery. After this, we have the delivery and logistics component, in which we coordinate the customer orders, schedule deliveries, dispatch the loads, invoice customers, and receive payments. And last but not least, we have the returning component in the supply chain management, in which we basically create a network or a process to take back defective, excessive, or unwanted products. So these are the 5 basic components of supply chain management. Now let's move on and talk about a few benefits of supply chain management. Effective supply chain management provides 3 primary benefits to any organization. First one is lowered cost. By integrating suppliers and applying technology, organizations can lower operating cost by responding more dynamically to customer needs. For example, managing based on demand keeps organizations from overproducing, which not only reduces the labor and raw material cost, but also cuts down on inventory management cost and transportation cost. After this, we have the second benefit, which is increased revenue. When organizations use technology to stay closer to customer demand and respond more quickly, it's more likely products remain available for customers to purchase. When manufacturing is streamlined to produce just enough, labor and materials can be devoted to developing new items to offer the customers and expand the product mix. Outside the product realm, this may mean offering additional services to the customers. And last but not the least, we have the benefit of asset utilization. With effective supply chain management, organizations can use capital assets like production or transportation equipment most effectively.
Just a quick info, guys. If you want to make a career in digital marketing, then Intellipaat provides a advanced certification in digital marketing and analytics. It is taught by IIT professors and industry experts with more than 10 years of experience. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job. Now let's continue with the session.
Rather than adding wear and tear to manufacturing equipment needlessly, businesses can produce to the need. Supply chain management allows organizations to deliver more quickly, ensure products are all the time available, reduce quality issues, and navigate returns with ease. Ultimately, it improves the value of the product, both within the organization and for the customers. Now that we know a few benefits of the supply chain management, let's move on and talk about the 5 C's of effective supply chain management. The supply chain is the most obvious face of the business for the customers and consumers. The better and more effective company's supply chain management is, the better it protects its business reputation and long-term sustainability. So the first one is the connected, and in this we are being able to access unstructured data from social media, structured data from the Internet of Things, and more traditional data sets available through traditional ERP and B2B integration tools. After this, we have the second C, which is collaborative. In this, improving collaboration with suppliers increasingly means the use of cloud based commerce networks to enable multi enterprise collaboration and engagement. Next up, we have cyber aware. The supply chain must harden its systems and protect them from cyber intrusions and hacks, which should be an enterprise wide concern. The next one is cognitively enabled. The AI platform becomes the modern supply chain's control tower by collating, coordinating, and conducting decisions and actions across the chain. Most of the supply chain is automated and self learning. After this, last but not least, we have comprehensive as the fifth C of effective supply chain management. In this, analytics capabilities must be scaled with data in real time. Insights will be comprehensive and fast. Latency is unacceptable in the supply chain for the future. Now that we know the 5 C's of effective supply chain management, let's move on to a case study. And now that we have a rough idea of what supply chain management is, let's go through this simple case study about bottled water. When you first think about what goes behind the production of bottled water, there are 3 things that come to mind. First one is drinkable water, second one plastic bottle, and third one is the label. But product cost is not equal to material cost. There are going to be links that will be needed in the supply chain of the product, which is going to be the bottled water. First, you need plastic bottles. Let's assume you have outsourced this to another company and they give you plain plastic bottles. Now you need people to interact with the company proactively to make sure your company receives a constant supply of plain water bottles. Then for the drinking water supply, you will need machines that purify the water, machines that will fill the plastic bottles, and you also need people to run and maintain these machines. Then comes the label part, and in this a designer is needed to design the label according to your requirements. Later it has to be sent to the print factory where it prints the labels and sends them back to you. After you receive the labels for your water bottle company, you will need a machine to stick them to your plastic bottles. After the finished product, you will need storage for your bottles where they will not be affected by weather or animals. When the time comes for the customers to buy your bottles, you need logistic teams to supply the demand, and this will also require people, transport vehicles, and fuel. And you need a customer support team who can handle the call from users. So this is a simple case study, and this is quite a journey, right? And we have only scratched the surface of the components of the supply chain, guys. Supply chain management is a very vast topic that you can learn about, and the mechanisms and the practices that are followed to ensure efficiency and loss prevention from a supply chain are rightfully called supply chain management. With this, we have come to the end of the session, guys. If you have any questions, you can mention them in the comment section below, and we'll be happy to help you in your journey towards learning supply chain management. Thank you and have a nice day.
Just a quick info, guys. If you want to make a career in digital marketing, then Intellipaat provides a advanced certification in digital marketing and analytics. It is taught by IIT professors and industry experts with more than 10 years of experience. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job.